Hey everyone, Nathan again with another update on some new widget designs and also some other like behind the scenes widgets that are planning to be released in the future. We've released three major updates. We'll be releasing three major updates in the next sort of 48 hours that have been taking up sort of most of our time in terms of development priorities. Aside from just making sort of bug fixes, there's been sort of fairly little focus on releasing sort of new widgets. Um, but that is going to transition back into being the sort of main priority as well as some other like improvements into the platform. We've now got five. Yeah, we just had one new engineer join last week. We've got five developers working on Notify now. We're expanding the team to make sure that we can keep releasing widgets as fast as possible. So this is a feedback widget. If you're not familiar with Hotjar, it's a really interesting tool. I used to work for them a few years ago now, and they have about 500,000 users. If you're not using it, you should definitely go and check them out. This is just sort of one sort of feedback widget that they have, but they still have a whole suite of other tools within the Hotjar platform. So I'd definitely recommend sort of looking at them. But I wanted to release this on our platform as well. So simply you would click the button and then the feedback box would appear. And your users can leave feedback. Here's just another design of email collection card I was sort of playing around with. And is even this is a sort of really interesting widget that I want to build, and it's like a reminder widget. So rather than on exit intent just asking for an email address, you would display this if someone is planning on coming back in future, perhaps if you have like an agency, or you're particularly dealing with enterprise level clients who have like sort of budget planning as such. So they'll be waiting till sort of next quarter before they plan to invest in any new tools. So we can then display a pop-up that would say like coming back later, and they would say yes, tomorrow, next week, next quarter, or they can pick a date. And from here, they would on the next page, they would enter their email address, and we could send them a reminder email on the exact day that they asked us to reschedule with them. So I think this is a really, really interesting tool. Even for sort of lower level, even on Notifier, I would definitely use this, but particularly for like enterprise level SaaS, where sort of budget planning and sort of time constraints come into place. If a prospect is asking to schedule a reminder, it's going to be a very sort of warm outreach to them. And I think they'll also be quite surprised that you did actually reach out on the exact day and time that they asked for. So yeah, that's a sort of new widget entirely that I'm planning to release. So next up, we're just going on to some sort of style variations of email collection, which is one of our most popular widgets. So I want to make sure that we have a lot of different sort of styles and variations and layouts that you can play around with. So these are like some just small cards that would maybe appear in the bottom left hand, bottom right hand corner. These are sort of medium sized. One is with a SVG background, so we'll support customization of this within the dashboard, and this is just a very clean, very plain design. These are some other SVG background variations. Here is a sort of larger, not quite full screen, but definitely a large email collection pop-up. So we're going to be covering sort of various style variations. And previously we were releasing these as sort of separate widgets, whereas now we're going to consolidate these all together. So all of these are going to come under email collection. Here's another email collection variation with image at the side, full size image at the background, and obviously you can customize the colors and background image. Again, image right hand side, just a different design variation to the previous one, and this is how it would look if you turned on collecting first name as well. And yeah, this is also a few other first name email address variations I've sort of come up with. Call to action card, this is a new design, and also obviously we support the custom first name, so you can add that in now, and you can just push traffic maybe to new blog posts, over to webinars, to new products that you're releasing, and so on. This will be a much like it's a really just sort of clean design for the callback widget. So I'm just to also give a bit more clarification around this, I'm going to be releasing like sort of different style variations. So for example, style one will all be sort of very clean designs, and you'll be able to like flick through them within the dashboard. And number two can be a bit more like funky startup type vibe, maybe a bit more colorful, or with sort of more images and things like that. So every single widget that we have, and this is going to take a couple of months to do because we actually have to build them all, but each different widget would come with, maybe at least four style variations, and for our most popular widgets that are the most widely used, maybe 7 or 8. For email collection, there's going to be about 10 or 12. And then if we scroll a bit further down, here's another variation of special offer announcement, which we have already, but this time it would appear as a card. And we also have added a number of reviews rated. We can actually pull this for you off of Facebook, off of Google, off Capterra, G2 Crowd, and Trustpilot. So you would simply enter the URLs that you want us to pull the reviews in from, and we'll do that on your behalf. Following on from that, we also have our reviews widget coming out, which is going to display reviews captured from all of those platforms. I think it also supports the Apple Store as well. Yes, it does. So we can pull reviews that you receive on the Apple Store. And we're also going to be able to display the total sold count, so based on in the past 24 hours or last 7 days, and also using low stock warnings. So I think this is really interesting for e-commerce. To be able to display the number of items that they have left in stock. Very similar to how like Airbnb and Booking.com display maybe 30 others are looking on these dates and things like that. So this is just fear of missing out marketing, but this is very effective. Just to add on to that as well, this will all be validated on our side. So what you would do when you're setting up the widget is you would display, you would add in your widget settings, you have 50 items left in stock. And what we would do is we would count down on this timer of your total stock counts. Every time someone completes a checkout, it's going to go down by -1. And then you can set a limitation. So maybe when you get to 10 items left in stock or something like that, then we'll start displaying the warning. Next is another variation of the coupon delivery system, and of course, like the colors are completely customizable. I've also built all of these other designs to have much easier. I think they look great, but I'm the designer of them, so I'll wait for some third-party opinions. But because they're only using 2 different color variations, all of this can be edited from the Notify dashboard very easily. Which means that there's much less, there's not going to be any friction when you're actually setting these up in the dashboard. Profile card, this is just, I really sort of designed this for like freelancers and bloggers. So you can obviously say like, let's connect, and you can put your social media and contact me, maybe if you wanted to link to Calendly or something like that for people to book in a call if you're freelancing or running an agency. But again, yeah, I could also use this on the Notify blog in particular if I wanted to grow my my social media followings. Spin to Win, I'm working on a new design for as well, but haven't started executing that. These are 2 variations of automated messages. This is going to be like a long card that can appear at the bottom of the page. Sorry, a long banner that would appear at the top of the page, and this is a small card. So yeah, just 2 different layout variations. Then we're moving down to coupon code delivery. I think I showed, yeah, I've shown this one already. Sorry, I was duplicating it to make some variations above. This is another variation with an image at the side, and I was just playing around with some silly copy. So we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, "We've got unfinished business," and delivering you a coupon code. Next up, this is Engagement Hub, one of my personal favorite widgets, and this is just a new sort of style variation. So here, obviously, we're promoting social media cards for your business. They can also join the newsletter from the same page, and we're just putting blog posts, useful resources, and places to get in touch. So this one I actually designed for because now Notify has segmentation built in. This one is designed for people who are already customers and have signed up to your application, and we're just showing them updates and useful things and easy ways to get in touch. And this other variation is for leads, so people who are visiting your website but haven't signed up just yet. And we can display them like a coupon code, or display our sort of active promotions. I could also look into putting like social proof here, for maybe displaying the total number of signups in the past 7 days or something like that. So yeah, I really like these designs. They're sort of very, very clean, which I'm a big fan of. Next up is lead magnet, so giving away something, putting an image of whatever your offer is, and obviously text here, first name, last name, and sign up. Triggered video has new design as well. Again, these are all the sort of clean design variations. As I mentioned as well, we're also doing reviews. So this would display as a sticky sort of card at the side of your page. As I mentioned, we can pull these reviews in from Facebook, Google, App Store, Captura, G2 Crowd, and I'm definitely missing one or two, but yeah, we can pull them in from all the sort of major platforms. And it's going to display a verified count of all of your reviews here. Click to tweet, I've also done just a sort of makeover of, again, much cleaner, and when they click it, it will automatically take them to post that exact text as a tweet on Twitter. Content locker, again, just sort of revamping the design, and I also thought in content locker we could also add a variation for, in order for the pop-up to disappear, either they share on these platforms, or they or the user must join their email list, and we can have built-in validation here to double check that it is a valid email that the user is submitting. So yeah, that's another design that I would like to release very much. Exit intent survey. I like this design, but I still think that there's improvements that could be made. So I won't be releasing this one just yet. I'll come up with a few other sort of style variations before we push that on the platform. But I'm also working on on building up some new variations of exit intent. And now we have new variation of the yes no card that will be available. So obviously this is another good way to like segment your visitors, and also using sort of reverse psychology. Like if you're like, for example, if you're saying, do you need a free trial? We can say, no, thanks, I don't like free things. And who's going to click that? Who doesn't like free things? This is another, so this is a new widget that I'm, again, sort of very interested to release. So what this would, like, this part is just for like demo purposes. The actual widget is this particular piece here. So on a product page on an e-commerce store, this would display on top of your image. It will pop up after a few seconds saying purchased 33 times in the past 24 hours. And like the rest of this is just like a sort of wireframe just to show you what it would look like. So the actual widget is here. It would be an inline on image, I guess, widget, not quite inline, that would show up on the product itself. And also on the conversion feed, it would be available. So Tom from London just purchased this product, and also offering low stock, again appearing on top of the image. This is another interesting widget actually. If anyone's familiar with something like GrowSurf or like sort of viral marketing lists, where you would sign up and then you'd be added to the list, and in order to move up the list and get early access to a particular product, you would share it. So they'll be given a unique referral link. Notify will track the referrals on your behalf. And yeah, it's an easy way to implement sort of viral marketing into your campaigns. Another variation of coupon delivery widget, and also this is another idea that I came up with for promoting. If you have an affiliate code, obviously we have a lot of SaaS users and e-commerce companies using Notifia. Many of them have affiliate systems. So what you could do is send over the referral code of a particular user who's logged into your application, and then you can display this to them, just reminding them of your affiliate scheme. And it's going to be a very easy way to increase the number of referrals that you receive. This is a customer support widget that I've also been building. Number one, I really want it for Notify as a better way to segment our customer support. So yeah, this maybe having like a card or something here for support, and when they click it, this would then appear. This we can also insert this dynamically now actually, so we could automatically add in the first name, last name, and then the user would simply select the department and the help that they need. Yeah, so and first name is obviously customizable as well. There are a few other I can't remember if I've shown these before actually. Um, I don't think I have. Let me dig these up. Mm, where was it? Okay, yeah, here's another interesting thing I guess I can show. It's not quite widget related, but this is like a sort of new interface for Notifier. So just trying to clean everything up, and also making it sort of obviously a big green button saying install is pretty self-explanatory. Adding the analytics for each individual widget, just to go over this quickly as well. This is one of the problems that we've had is with our analytics page. Um, the reason that it hasn't been a sort of real focus to finish to get everything sorted there is because soon after I started building it, I realized actually this is just all of your widgets sort of brought in together, and it's not giving individual analytics for each different tool. And considering that all of our different widgets are so varied, the data is going to be like pretty much just corrupt from the start. There's not many insights that are going to come from our previous model of analytics. Really, each individual widget needs its own set of analytics, like impressions, clicks, and conversions. So that is what I'm now sort of building. Also, it doesn't make sense to continuously explain what a widget is doing. Once you've set it up once, like you pretty much know what the tool's doing. So we may as well, like, instead of just sort of wasting that space, just add in analytics right there. This is also how our A/B testing will look. So what you would do is we're going to have a settings tab here, and you would select settings of the widget. You could deploy an A/B test. If you need help, it will take you to documentation, and this delete button will delete the widget from the campaign. So once you set up an A/B test, once you've set up your variation, this will be for control. If you aren't familiar with A/B testing, control means your the default version, the one that you had before. So this is what you're testing against, so you won't make any changes to this. And then when you deploy your variation, the analytics will be displayed here. So you can very easily see which one is performing better, what you're getting more conversions, more clicks from, and impressions will be set to 50-50 by default. And yeah, I just showed this, but yeah, now instead of having just the cog, we'll have settings where you can go into the individual steps of each widget. And also just one other quick thing on Notifier itself. So this should be different URLs, but if we're receiving data from the website, it will be green. If we haven't had any data in the past 24 hours, it's going to go orange. And if we haven't had any data in the past 7 days, it's going to go red. So it means there's probably a problem with your integration. Maybe you deleted the script or something like that. So yeah, these were the actual things I wanted to show. So these are a few other like sort of widgets that we're working on, like particularly in sort of call to action cards and various different sort of colors. Really trying to focus on like conversions. Here's a free shipping banner. a very colorful contact us variation. So as I mentioned, if we're releasing multiple different styles for each widget, this is how they'd look. This is another email collection widget, a large one, and background with image. These are a lot more colorful call to action cards and email collection, and a large call to action, and also free shipping. So these are going to be great for getting people's attention, but like the thing is that because we have so many different websites using Notify, but we have to like sort of cater for everyone really. And in order to make it as simple as possible for Notify to set up, like the thing that I really find with a lot of our competitors, I mean, you may think this is a sort of biased opinion, but the thing that actually motivated me to start making Notify in the first place was because if you go into some dashboards, I'll name and shame someone now. For example, Hello Bar is they have like 500,000 users. I'm a technical person. I understand code. I build software platforms for a living. My whole days are spent growth hacking, integrating sort of APIs together, playing around with hundreds of different software platforms. And just the fact that Hello Bar has managed to get to 500,000 users, if you haven't used their UX, I mean, their platform, you can go and try it out. And it just causes so many headaches to sort of get started. So like the real principle, my principle isn't the right word. My philosophy behind Notify is to offer everything sort of pre-built. So like applying my knowledge on things that increase conversions and can help people sort of grow their business, and putting them into like pre-built packages as such that can just be deployed on a website within a click of a button. You don't need any design knowledge. Ideally, I'll be writing or getting a sort of conversion focused copywriter to write out copy for all of our widgets. So obviously you're going to need to change like some little variables like your website name and things like that to make it more personal. But other than that, I really want to just offer pre-built packages for increasing conversions that can be just deployed on your website in the click of a button. You don't have to be a designer, you don't have to be a marketer, you don't have to be a developer, and they're just available for anyone to increase their conversions. So yeah, following on from that, here is like the new sort of layout that I built for installing Notify widgets. So currently we have a mix of displaying a live preview here or having a live preview here. I've decided let's get rid of that altogether. We'll just simply have our live preview over here. Any changes that you make are obviously updated here in real time. And there's going to be a link to a setup guide, obviously, in case anyone needs a hand getting started. We're going to have videos and documentation for all of the widgets. Another way to make it a lot more simple is the option to show required fields only. So this would then hide anything that says optional, which is going to make the installation flow much, much faster. Once something has been successfully filled, it's going to go green. If it hasn't been filled, it's going to go orange or red. And once the entire section is done, there's going to be a green tick here, so you know everything's done. So just very simple and very nice UX. Triggers, as I've sort of changed the text and improved it, I think it makes it a lot more explanatory in terms of what we're doing. And under advanced, everything is being sort of pushed down to the bottom, so that you're only performing the steps that need to be completed. You don't get lost in loads of options that aren't necessary. You can always go back and change them later, of course. I'd encourage you to do so and sort of play around with everything, but just in order to take away all of the friction in getting widgets set up on your website in the first place, I've just sort of changed the layout, and I think it's much easier, much more simple to do. And you can also change the font. Like I said, there's just primary color and secondary color for making the widgets, which makes everything much easier. Text colors are changed just by highlighting the text and adjusting from there. Yeah, and this is another like variation that I built for selecting where to display on the page. So if we're going to choose bottom left, it's going to display here, bottom right, over here, and so on. Notify also supports custom merge tags now, so you can put in first name, last name, company, and so on. So perhaps it would be good to have like an input section here. This is just something I was playing around with, but yeah, I'd appreciate any feedback if you have any. And yeah, I think this is also the sort of color customizer that I would quite like to implement just to give more flexibility. But yeah, I think that's everything for me. I'm also playing around with new landing pages, and yeah, I've been just been like teaching myself design recently. I'm not a designer, but the way I like go about entrepreneurship is just I try everything myself, and if I'm not able to do it, then I hire someone to do it. So oh, this is another thing actually. I've also come up with, for anyone interested in like, I mean, not quite a growth hack, but just I guess it is a growth hack actually. Um, what we are going to do is every single website that we integrate with, we're going to scrape the data and add into a database of, it will be stored in JSON, and then from here we'll pull their logo, and we'll also, this company is going to be a variable and this will be a variable as well. So for example, Shopify, I've got about 600 platforms that we'll scrape and add them to a database. And then all we have to do is build this page once. And obviously, because of modern frameworks, we can simply just insert these variables, and it's going to create about 600 pages that we integrate with a custom icon here. And obviously, here it would say Shopify plus Notifier. And then there would be the website description of Shopify up here. So I'm not really into SEO, to be honest. It's a bit too slow for me, but I just much prefer for growth methods. But obviously, I more than appreciate the value in SEO. So this is just me just playing around with getting some bulk content out there, and yeah, and also this will apply for competitors, so I can get all the information of a list of about 800 different competitors I have. We can put their logo here. We can say looking for an alternative to whoever, and add all this stuff and show what Notify does, and then just apply SEO to the page. Of course, this may be qualified. In fact, it is going to be qualified as duplicate content, but I've seen it work pretty well for other companies like Zapier. I mean, that's literally exactly how they grew. So yeah, it's just something else that I'm planning on implementing, for anyone who's interested in sort of growth hacking and sort of growth strategy and things like that. But yeah, I will. I'll leave the video there. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any feedback, widget ideas as well, actually, that's another thing. If you see any widgets and tools that you like online, I'm constantly just searching for new, just innovative tools that we can release, or any designs that you like online. Please feel free to send them over, and yeah, I'd love to build them. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.